A couple of you had questions about the January Mani by Me box, like, how do they stamp? Because I can't go a single video without stamping without y'all calling me out on it. So for you, I went ahead and created some swatch sticks, and I'm just taking a straight up black from Maniology and Bam White also from Maniology to make sure I can do swatches of black and white at the same time. I think that's a great idea, and I think it's always very effective to do that. As always, I do have a Maniology affiliate code. It is JILLIE10. You can get 10% off of any Maniology product or $5 off your new Mani by Me box. So while I go through and do these, I actually really enjoy having two colors to swatch at once because it kind of gives you an idea how it's going to look over any dark color or any light color. So for me, I think it's great. These shots of Aphrodite, I think, much more show the true color of that polish. It is a beautiful polish, but in a very surprise twist, Dovetail is my favorite out of this box. Not because Aphrodite's not pretty, but because it stamps a little better, and I'm going to show you that right here. So I just wanted to grab these very detailed. I like to do swatches with very detailed stamps because to me, especially over the black, it gives you a great idea of how really good a polish is. Like if it looks good over black, it's good. And this one was a little disappointing, but you can see the hollow shift in it, the linear hollow shift. Like you can kind of see it shifting right there, even though that was a very detailed design. So I was very impressed with that. But once I put a top coat on it, which I think should have made it look better, it actually kind of made it look worse. It made it, you could still see the flares from the glitter and everything, and it was the linear glitter, and it was very pretty, so don't get me wrong. But when it comes to extremely detailed designs, you just kind of lose the design. So I would recommend if you're going to use that one, it's probably better for a negative space mani, like if you want to put stripes across or something like that. On the other hand, look at Dovetail. How pretty is that over both colors? It looks great. And even after it dried with the top coat and all that stuff, still looked good. The color stayed. Sometimes when you stamp over black, it'll kind of fade down into it. It didn't do that. And so you can see the glitter shift and all that, but you can't see that it's roses. And that's why Dovetail wins out of the box for me. I grabbed straight up black and Ghoulish also from Maniology. I'm going to do a little reverse stamping of some roses and answer the next question, which was what would I do with the quote-unquote caviar beads? Because they're the size of caviar beads, but they're little tiny gems, almost like pixie gems from Swarovski. You know what? I'm kind of glad they're not going to sell gems anymore because I'm tired of saying their name. Salty, being salty with a side of snark. But you can see if you looked at that stamp there that came out really nice. It was a beautiful stamp. It picked up well and was gorgeous. I'm going to go ahead and do 2 coats of Dovetail on a little swatch nail here for you. I really like this one. You'll see when it has the second coat, which is coming up here right about now. It kind of has it looks like a shimmer, and it's a silvery shimmer to it, which almost just looks like it's reflecting light better, but it's actually a shimmer in there. It's very pretty. So I did reverse stamping there. I just filled the roses in with Aphrodite and then used Ghoulish. Really like this. I thought it came out pretty, and I particularly like, the style of that stamp, the kind of swirl to it, like there's a vine growing. It has movement, and I really like that about it. So as you'll see, I didn't let this dry quite enough, and it kind of smudged a little bit over there. Luckily, I was able to press it back down, and since the polish was still drying, it smoothed on its own just a little bit. And by the time I put top coat on it, you couldn't tell I did anything. So we're going to get ready to do these gems, and I put them in a container with some other caviar beads that I have. I bought an empty container off of Amazon. The other caviar beads are also Maniology caviar beads. I don't think they sell them anymore, but I did get them from the Maniology website. Those are the original beads. You can see they're round and very small, and then these pixies are cut gems, and they're a rough cut. They are not smooth at all. They're very jaggedy, very pokey, I will cut you. So the reason that I bring this up is that they will put texture on your nails. So if you are the kind of person who does not like texture, they're probably not for you, and you should pass them along because they are very jabby and pokey and all that stuff. I assume if it bothered you a lot, you could go through and cap it in acrylic or polygel if that's something you wanted to do. I think it's kind of fun. I like it. If my nails were long, I would sport some hardcore roses and barbed wire and these gems all over it. So one of the questions was, what would I do with them since they're kind of caviar beads? There's a lot of different things you could do. You can use them on settings, like if you're using other gems, you could use it to fill in the gaps between the gems. Just keep in mind it's going to give you a texture. I like this kind of idea. It's almost like an extension of the vine where I'm going to kind of swoop it around the nails. So it looks like these black, spiky, thorny vines are coming down, right? They're tedious if you do it this way. Honestly, another way I would do it is that whole back end, kind of the shape that I'm cutting out right now. I would almost make like a triangle point and put top coat on and just dump them on it and kind of press them down into the polish that way. That would have been really cool with this. Again, you could fill it in with gem settings. You can do little single rows or double rows or make swirl patterns with them, pretty much anything. Or you could even like stamp down the barbed wire out of them and use these on the kind of circular parts of the barb. So you just got actual barbs where the barbed wire is. Just to let it creatively flow out, like whatever you want to do. What's the worst that can happen? You go, I don't like that, and you take it off. I mean, believe me, there's sometimes I make something and I go, woo, that's not even ugly, that's fugly. You know, it happens sometimes. So the only way you learn is to get better. And by no means am I a gem placement expert. I'm not a jeweler. I don't have anything to do with that kind of stuff. However, I don't even wear jewelry that often, honestly. I don't even wear a wedding ring. Just some earrings. Like, if you like that kind of stuff, play with it. Watch other videos. I'll be honest, I've tried to find videos on YouTube. Can't find any. Not on how to do good gem placement. Talia's Nail Tales does have a good video on how to get them to stay on. Part of the reason why I've never gotten good at them is because I use regular nail polish on natural nails. So a lot of the products that really hold that stuff on really well are more related to nail enhancements. Which, you know, I'm not begrudging anybody. I love long nails too. I love blinged out stuff too from time to time. So I'm just a little jealous that it's easier for them to get to keep gems on. But that is what I did with it. There's your swatches for you to check out. Gotta let me know what you think. Make sure you ask questions and leave comments, because I will respond to every one of you. You are important to me, and I feel like that's always special to do. This is what I was talking about as the super secret ending to the video of the cool stuff I got. That rose quartz from the Maniology box, this is why I always fussed about it a little bit. Like, I like it, but I'm also a little fussy. Look how big that one is. I got this in a town called Hot Springs at a gem store for $4. They're huge. They're huge. And they had them in all kinds of colors, all kinds of styles. I love it. I also found some little chips and shavings that have been filed smooth, like rolled and ground down to smooth. So I'm going to use those in some videos coming up too. Keep an eye out for them because they're freaking awesome looking. Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you being here as always. Goodbye.